Time governs nearly every aspect of modern life, yet it often goes unnoticed. Seconds slip by quietly, minutes shape routines, and hours define entire days. These divisions feel so natural that it is easy to assume they have always existed. In reality, they are human inventions, developed gradually over thousands of years. Long before clocks ticked and calendars ruled societies, humans experienced time very differently. Understanding when and how seconds, minutes, and hours came into use reveals not only the history of timekeeping, but also how human civilization itself became more structured, precise, and interconnected. Right here, on History of Simple Things. In early human history, time was not measured but observed. Days were defined by sunlight, nights by darkness, and years by seasonal change. Life followed natural rhythms rather than numerical systems. There was no reason to divide a day into smaller units when survival depended more on weather patterns and daylight than on punctuality. This relationship with time was flexible and intuitive. Events happened when conditions were right, not at a specific moment on a clock. However, as societies grew more complex, this loose understanding became insufficient. Agriculture required planning, rituals needed consistency, communities needed shared expectations. Slowly, humans began searching for ways to divide time into recognizable, repeatable parts. The first major step toward structured time came with the concept of the hour. Ancient Egypt, around 3000 BCE, played a central role in this development. Egyptians used obelisks and shadow clocks to track the sun's movement across the sky, dividing daylight into 12 segments. Nighttime was also divided into 12 parts, guided by star patterns. These early hours were not equal in length. A daytime hour in summer was much longer than one in winter. Still, the idea of breaking the day into consistent segments marked a turning point. Time was no longer just a cycle, but something that could be organized and anticipated. The number 12 likely came from early counting methods and astronomical observations. Over time, this division became deeply embedded in how humans conceptualized the day. While Egyptians shaped the structure of the day, the Babylonians contributed the mathematics that made precise divisions possible. Around 2000 BCE, Babylonian scholars developed a base 60 numerical system. This system was remarkably versatile, allowing easy division into halves, thirds, quarters, and more. This mathematical framework influenced how time would eventually be subdivided. The circle was divided into 360 degrees, and time followed a similar logic. Although Babylonians did not use minutes and seconds as daily units, their numerical system laid the foundation for dividing hours into smaller, standardized parts. The fusion of Egyptian time structure and Babylonian mathematics became one of the most enduring legacies in human measurement systems. Greek thinkers inherited these ideas and pushed them further. In the 2nd century BCE, astronomer Hipparchus proposed dividing the day into 24 equal hours, regardless of seasonal changes. This was a radical shift. Time became abstract rather than dependent on daylight length. Although this concept was primarily used for astronomy, it marked a philosophical transformation. Time was becoming something universal and measurable, not just locally experienced. The Romans adopted the 24-hour structure, but continued using variable hours in everyday life. Sundials were common, and water clocks helped measure time indoors. These devices brought timekeeping into public spaces, courts, and military operations, reinforcing the idea that time could regulate social order. Minutes existed long before they were ever seen on a clock. The word comes from the Latin Pars minuta prima, meaning first small part. It referred to 1/60th of an hour, a concept used primarily in astronomy and mathematics. Greek and later Islamic scholars relied on minutes to record precise celestial movements. These divisions were crucial for calculations, but had little relevance to daily life. Without instruments capable of measuring such small intervals, minutes remained theoretical. For most people, the hour was precise enough. Life did not yet demand finer divisions, and technology could not support them. Seconds followed the same path as minutes. Derived from pars minuta secunda, the second small part, seconds were another mathematical subdivision of the hour. Like minutes, they were used extensively by scholars, but not experienced physically. Medieval Islamic scientists preserved and expanded Greek astronomical knowledge, using seconds in advanced trigonometry and star charts. Their work later influenced European science through translations, ensuring that seconds remained part of scientific thought even when they had no practical application. For centuries, seconds existed only on parchment and in equations, invisible to everyday human life. The second finally entered the physical world in the 17th century. In 1656, Christian Huygens invented the pendulum clock, achieving unprecedented accuracy. For the first time, seconds could be measured consistently. Clocks soon featured second hands, turning an abstract fraction into something visible and tangible. This precision revolutionized science. Experiments could be timed accurately, astronomical observations improved, and navigation became safer and more reliable. Seconds were especially crucial for determining longitude at sea, making accurate clocks a matter of global exploration and trade. As industrialization spread, precise and standardized time became essential. Railways required synchronized schedules across vast distances. Factories depended on coordinated shifts. Communication technologies demanded shared time references. The 19th century saw the creation of time zones, aligning clocks across regions. Later, electrical signals and atomic clocks pushed accuracy even further. The second was eventually redefined based on atomic vibrations rather than Earth's rotation, making it one of the most stable units ever devised. Time was no longer local or flexible. It became global, exact, and deeply integrated into every system of modern life. Seconds, minutes, and hours feel inevitable today, but they are the result of a long and gradual human journey. They began with shadows cast by the sun, passed through abstract mathematics, and became real through mechanical innovation and scientific precision. Humans did not invent time itself, but they shaped how it is understood and used. Each division emerged in response to new needs, from farming and ritual to science and industry. What started as a way to track the sky eventually became a framework that governs modern existence. Behind every ticking second lies thousands of years of observation, experimentation, and human ingenuity, quietly shaping the rhythm of everyday life. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.